Hi, for this lab exercise number 2, we're going to deal with basic Arduino programming. The objectives and materials we're going to use is presented in your screen. And before we solve the problems, let's get started on how to install the Arduino IDE in your computers. To officially get started, go to their website and click for the compatible version in your computer and install the IDE from there. Make sure to follow all the installation process and you can start using it after you're done. Now let's connect your Arduino board to PC. First is get your Arduino of course, and then connect the board to your PC. If you're on Windows, make sure to check for the drivers. And then next is to open the Arduino IDE that you installed earlier, go to the Tools menu and select Board. And make sure you have the appropriate Arduino board from the list. And finally, to ensure that everything is set up correctly, you can upload a test sketch to your Arduino board. And just like in your screens, if your Arduino board LED is blinking, then everything is set up correctly. Now let's go on to solving the problems. For problem number 1, which is using switch and nested else-if statement. For this problem, we're going to create two program versions. One that uses switch statement and the other one that uses nested if-else statement. Let's first create the switch statement program. First step is to create a new sketch. Open the Arduino IDE, click on the file, New, to create a new sketch. Define a variable to store the input digit. Read the input digit from the serial monitor using serial.parseInt. Multiply the input digit by the appropriate bonus multiplier. Print the calculated new value to the serial monitor using serial.printin. Verify that your sketch has no errors by clicking on the checkmark icon. As you can see, our program has an error and we have to fix it by going through it all over again. Upload the sketch to your Arduino board by clicking on the arrow icon. Open the serial monitor by clicking on Tools, Serial Monitor, or by pressing Ctrl, Shift, M. Enter a digit in the range 0 to 9 into the serial monitor and observe the calculated new value. Lastly, test your program. And if you encounter any problems, make sure to troubleshoot your program. Now, the second one is applying the nested else-if statement in this new program. In this setup, we just have to repeat all the steps in the switch statement program that we did earlier, but this time we have to instead use nested if-else statements to determine the bonus multiplier. Now you can see that the else-if statement program that we used is working, and we can go on to the next problem. For problem number 2, we're going to declare variables to store the user input and the resulting secondary color. Use the serial library to prompt the user to enter the names of two primary colors. Read and store the user input using serial.read or serial.readString. Validate the user input to ensure it is one of the primary colors, red, blue, or yellow. If the input is invalid, display an error message. Determine the resulting secondary color based on the user's input. Use conditional statements to check the combinations and assign the secondary color accordingly. Print the name of the secondary color to the serial monitor. Repeat the process indefinitely or until a specific condition is met. For the final steps, copy the provided sketch to your Arduino IDE. Next, upload the sketch to your Arduino board, and then open the serial monitor to interact with the program and test different color combinations. Now let's move on to the third problem, which is the math computation. Use the serial library to display the menu options to the user. Read and store the user's choice using serial.read or serial parseInt. In our case, we use the serial.parseInt. Call the appropriate function based on the user's choice to calculate the area of the selected geometric shape. Print the calculated area to the serial monitor. And for the final steps, copy the provided sketch to your Arduino IDE, upload the sketch to your Arduino board, and then open the serial monitor to interact with the program and test different input and scenarios. And here is our final working program. Now, for the last and final problem for this laboratory exercise, you have to make a sketch that prompts sketching for grades. Again, to create a new sketch, you have to click on File in the menu bar, then select New to create a new sketch. Define the grade cutoffs for each grade, A, B, C, D, F. For example, A is 90 to 100, B 80 to 89, and so on. Write the Arduino sketch. Connect your Arduino board to your computer using a USB cable. Select the correct board and port from the Tools menu in the Arduino IDE. Then click on the Upload button to upload the sketch to your Arduino board. For testing, open the serial monitor by clicking on the magnifying glass icon in the Arduino IDE toolbar. You should see a prompt asking you to enter the grades for 4 tests. Enter the grades one by one and observe the final grade output. You can further refine the sketch by adding error checking for user input and additional features as needed. And after that, you're done. You've successfully created an Arduino sketch that prompts the user for 4 test grades and determines the final grade based on predefined grade cutoffs. And that would be all for the laboratory exercise number 2. Thank you.